As this warms, oh, there it goes. Well, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for having us. What I was going to say is next up, we have NextUp. Cannot believe you took that from me. But as introduced, my name is Collier Faubion. I am a solution engineering manager for Momentum Software. I have a background as a solution engineer working on NimbleAMS. What we want to talk a little bit about is how you can take all the information that you currently have and start to build a case for value, tie that back to member engagement, see the impact that that can have throughout your association, and more importantly, calculate an ROI, not just for you, but for your members, for your clients, for your partners, using all the information that you have anyway. As stated, my name is Collier Faubion. I'm with Momentum Software. We rebranded last year from Community Brands to Momentum Software. And part of that, we came up with a new tagline, which is your mission is our mission. And in that general idea, what we wanted to do for today is I wanted to actually turn the reins over to my good friend, Ms. Kristi Allen, to tell us a little bit about some of the incredible things that they were able to do at NextUp in combination with their members, their partners, that data that they already had to prove some ROI. And there's a clicker somewhere that I should already have in my hands. Here we go. Do I need Kevin? Oh, worked automatically. Look at that. So that's me. Oh, wow, so long ago. That hurts a little. Kristi, you look great there and here. So hats off to you. Okay. But as we get started, and I'm gonna allow Kristi to do most of the talking this afternoon. Lucky for all of you. But Kristi, to kick us off, could you give us a little bit of idea about what you do for NextUp, as well as what NextUp does for all of us?
Sure. So thank you, Collier, for that introduction. So again, my name is Kristi Allen. I'm the VP of Finance for NextUp. We were formerly known as the Network of Executive Women, founded here in Chicago, rebranded to NextUp. So we were founded about 25 years ago by executive women in the CPG and retail space who wanted to see women advance in leadership. So as you can imagine, over time, nonprofits evolve. We also have male allies. About 8% of our membership organization is men. So we have expanded that mission as well. But we do welcome all men and all genders to the organization. So since I've joined in 2023, we've been focused on being rooted in impact and grounded in quality programming. But we couldn't do that without the systems that we currently have in place. So I'm going to start and just kind of touch on our mission. I'm not going to read it verbatim, but again, we've evolved our mission. We've expanded that to build on the next generation of leaders, fostering an inclusive workplace cultures, advancing all leaders in business while acknowledging the unique barriers that women face. So again, we are still founded. Our foundation is supporting women in business. Again, we're open to all genders. We provide leadership development and resources, creating equal opportunities for everyone. More importantly, we conduct all of our programs and employment practices in full compliance with federal, state, and local laws. And as you all can imagine, with our new executive orders, the support that we all are in compliance. So that's just a little bit about our mission and our background.
But you, at the very end, you touched on all programs and employment practices.
Exactly.
So could you give us an idea a little bit about some of those things, some of the things that you use to do that?
Sure. So I'll touch on our size. So we have over 16,000 members within our association, over 500 corporate partners, over 70, a touch and a reach of over 70,000 in social media audience. And then on our website, about over 250,000 clicks or visits per year. Visits. And then over the last 2 years, as far as our engagement, we have over 25,000 registrations, 49% increase since 2023.
Let me say that again, a 49% increase year over year.
Since 2023, right?
Since 2023.
And then a 23% increase in our engagement since 2023.
That was one of those 3 points that builds up the ROI, right? Engagement. Okay, lock that up there.
Now I'm a little bit intimidated. I think, Alyssa, you guys said that your NPS score was like 90 points or something. So we've got some work to do. But
we're really proud of this number. Yeah, good.
But again, that's that flywheel impact. We're working up to that. So since 2023, our NPS score is up 7 points. 80% of our members, we've grown our network by 80%. 75% of us, 75% have given us a good to excellent rating, and 68% of our NextUp members improved their leadership skills.
Now, so when we were talking, you know, as I was understanding, as I was learning a little bit about what NextUp does, I noticed that there's really multifaceted ways that people could get involved or become members, but it's not just members because of the partner program. So with this information here, can you help everyone understand a little bit about how people become members or become involved with NextUp?
Sure. So we are a corporate subsidized nonprofit. So we have about a little over 100 corporate partners that fund the organization. We have over 1,200 senior executives that support the organization that help us to drive that impact. And then over 500 companies that participate to support the organization outside of our the organizations that subsidize the program. As far as memberships, again, we have over 16,000, and most of those members are with our corporate sponsors and partners. But you can, as an individual member, you don't have to be part of one of those organizations. 53% of our members are early in careers. So again, we support that cohort of leaders, and they manage about 80% of our workforce. 46% of our memberships belong to that millennial and Gen Z. So we have a heavy population of millennial and Gen Z leaders. And again, about 7.5% or 8% of our members are men. And so again, we are expanding our reach and we welcome all male allies. Now here's the fun part, our region sponsorships. We consider that part of our program. That's our secret sauce.
Love that term.
And if you'll go to the next slide, I want to kind of give you a visual as to where these members reside. So again,
pretend we're Burger King. Tell us what's in this special sauce, if you would.
What's in the special sauce? So we've got 21 regions across the US and Canada. We actually have a region in Canada. Northwest Arkansas, Texas, Northern California. These are regions where we have heavy saturated members. Now, the reason why we consider this the secret sauce is if you belong in any one of those regions, you have an opportunity to connect, build relationships. Each of these regions has their own events that they plan. Let's say, for an example, you meet someone in a region at an event that has a role, or you're interested in a role that they have and you want to learn more about it, you can connect. We have one-on-one, you can go to the next slide. We have mentoring circles, one-on-one, small group mentoring circles, casual networking. You can meet someone at a coffee connect, small group dinners, and again, college outreach is another important component of our program.
And does that run through the regionals, or do they kind of?
That's run through the regionals, but there's also participation in our national events, and I'll talk a little bit about that.
Just before we left that last slide, I wanted to point out, as far as I can tell, if I'm doing math right, the biggest region is right here in Chicago.
Where it was founded.
Where it was founded. Mental note, everybody, right here. All right, sorry.
Okay. So again, our outreach and ways to connect. We have over 200 plus annual region events a year, 19,000 attendees to those events, and then regional volunteers. So let's say you're in a region, there's opportunities for leadership within those regions. Say you don't have experience with being on a board. So you have an opportunity there to learn board governance as being part of a region. We just had one of our flagship events last week in Northwest Arkansas, where over 800 members attended. That was sponsored by Walmart, again, one of those large regions, Northwest Arkansas, and then also sponsored by Kimberly-Clark. And so at that event, we had Katie Ledecky was a keynote. And so that's just to give you an idea of the sponsors and the support that we have for the organization. Cincinnati is another premier region. And so we've had Aaron Brockovich as a presenter.
Aaron Brockovich or Julie?
Aaron Brockovich as a keynote. And then for those of you who watch Shark Tank, I'm not sure, Damon John of Sean John, Fubu, that guy, he's also a big supporter of the organization as well.
Right on.
Again, region leadership opportunities. You can gain that hands-on experience as being part of a leader within that region. And again, you can connect with clients, partners, and different industry leaders to strengthen your professional network.
Now that I'm sure those of us who are paying attention probably were a little curious about why Chicago, obviously big membership, Northwest Arkansas, also big.
Very big.
But that's because NextUp really capitalizes on all these communities of partners, and Bentonville, Arkansas being the headquarters of,
Walmart.
there it is, Walmart. And they're a big sponsor of yours, among a couple other
Exactly.
companies that maybe some people have heard of.
Exactly, like Walmart, there's General Mills that's also in Northwest Arkansas. Our champion level, partners, CPG and retail, Coca-Cola. You guys may have heard of Coca-Cola, Accenture, Deloitte. We have started to kind of branch out outside of CPG and retail into consulting and financial services. At the advocate level, that's the second tier. We've got, Hershey, American Express. And so those are just some
Heard
of
of
the names
Yep.
that support the organization.
Yep.
And then the lower tiers, although they may not fund the organization, a significant funding, but they are partners in other regards. Microsoft, I am a Microsoft alum. They support our technology and applications. The WNBA, we actually gave them an award last year in our summit event in Chicago. So
Nice.
these are just some of our supporters.
I'm a latecomer to the WNBA train, so to speak.
I
Only in the
remember
last
that,
2
yeah.
years, but yeah, good basketball.
But men are
Big fan.
supporting the WNBA more, so
It's nice. We can make a day out of going to a game and not, have to take out a second mortgage on my house. And it's good
that's true.
basketball.
That's
It's
true.
good basketball.
It is good basketball.
Yeah.
That's true.
So some of the things as folks come in as partners, as an example, what obviously they believe in the mission, but there's obviously investment for them.
Sure.
So could you help us understand a little bit about what they would get from one of these agreements?
Sure. So as a member, as soon as you join the organization, what you're going to get is an individual advanced insights assessment. So what that's going to do is give you an assessment of your leadership style. And with that data and that information, you can then determine, what areas you want to develop or need to develop. And then we can help coach you through that with our workshops, individual coaching, mentoring, things like that. Again, the interactive learning workshops, we have things on, hard skills like leading with financial fluency, soft skills, emotional intelligence, ERG leaderships. A lot of organizations have ERGs. So those are the types of things that a member would be able to participate in. Conferences and events, we have 2 large conferences each year. We have our Leadership Executive Forum, and that's for VP and above. So that's our thought leadership conference, if you could think about, the executive forum.
Right.
And the summit, that's our, I don't want to say it's our end of year party, but it's kind of like a party. We've got all of our CPG and retail folks, Coca-Cola, Walmart, they come in and we have amazing speakers. If you are a member at one of those organizations, we typically highlight individuals that can come on stage and speak as a way to get experience and to gain professional development. It's just a great way to celebrate what we do for our members.
Right on. And what something we have here was one of those studies that you did. This is with IBM. IBM, yeah. Can you talk a little bit about just honestly at a high level, the data that's captured here?
Sure.
I think it's interesting, but then in general, how it was relevant to IBM.
Sure. So what we wanted to do in 2024, we really wanted to understand the impact of our organization. So we collaborated with IBM. And IBM had a benchmark study of over 2,500 organizations in 12 countries and 10 industries. We compared that benchmark to NextUp's organizations, the over 101 partners, along with about 360 survey respondents. So the outcome of that, as you can see, we were able to determine that, with our member organizations, we provide a greater value and that bridging that gap to leadership and advancement than other organizations. So I don't want to go through each one, but as you can see, kind of the disparage between some of those roles.
So that to me is the practical, not but a practical impact of participation with NextUp. You can see that your survey of your organizations is in every data point higher, almost consistently higher than IBM, which did something that was much more broad.
Exactly.
And that to me is particularly fascinating. Puts a lot of, we're talking about engagement, we're talking about, ROI, we're talking about value. We're starting to really make the case for the things that you guys are doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So on the next slide, what we've also done, over the last 2 years, we've worked to digitize the organization and really revamp some of our systems. And one of those things we decided to do was refresh our website experience. And so with that, we've been able to increase our brand and visibility to our sponsors and our members. We have a 70,000 member social media audience. At our summit event, we launched an app. And so we had about 1,000 members on that app. We've been able to increase the website users by 7.8%. Annually, over 250,000 visits to our website, and then increase our social media engagement by 60%. And that was as of Q1 2024.
The social media engagement is a big one. Looking at the website user increase, and 7.8 at when we first talked about this didn't feel like a big number, but I think all of us, to our own degree, have said we have members that aren't active. We have former members that are still sometimes coming in that we would like more activity from. And the idea that doing this pivot, where it was allowed you to capture almost 8% of those less engaged folks to get them back in the door. Those are people you don't have to recruit. Those are people you don't have to onboard. They already know you and what you're doing, but now you're actually getting them
back engaged and engagement
to convert that into the ROI. But we're getting there.
Okay.
Please.
Alyssa, don't. This is 55%. We're proud of it, but we've got work to do. But within the last 2 years, we have seen a 7-point increase in our net promoter score with our annual survey participation. 68% of our members reported career advancement, and of those members, 63% can attribute their success to being a part of NextUp.
Right. And this is good for them, but the bigger your member base is, the bigger your partnership network is, the more information that you can then bring in to do what you need to do, correct?
Exactly.
It's a good balance. And you also do custom courses and custom workshops? Yeah.
Exactly.
If you wouldn't mind.
Sure. So we have a few case studies here. So one of our partners brought to us, it was a company with over 100,000 employees. They were going through a transformational change, and they wanted us to teach their ERG leaders new skills. So what we did is created a new workshop, custom workshop around emotional and mental resilience. And that turned a net promoter score of 79.
79. Hey.
So better, better.
Coming for you. All right. Don't give me that look. Okay. Look, we didn't know you were going before us. All right. Another case study.
We're still coming forward.
Yeah, we are. See? Yeah.
So case study number 2. This was a retailer looking to redesign their ERG group. So again, we created a custom workshop for that organization, strategic planning for ERGs. That returned an EPS score of 86.
86. And then as we continue, and notice that we've kind of already run the gamut of more general, emotional intelligence to something more strategic, to even here, further strategic change and strategic action. So these workshops aren't just surface level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so this last case study, this company wanted to implement a new strategy. Again, we created a custom workshop that focused on managing the impacts of that. So really around change management, if you will. That relayed an NPS score of 83. 83.
Not too bad. And as we've now built the case, so here's how members are coming in. Here's how we're meeting partners. Here's how we're collecting information. Here's how we're expanding our information. Now we start to bring it to building a value card and
that ROI.
And talking about ROI.
Exactly. So there's a lot of data here. I won't go through each point, but I do want to point your attention. So at the top left corner for me. So SC Johnson, that's one of our champion supporters. They have 644 members in 2024. They had 953 event registrations. The average event attended per member was 1.51. Total members attending one event or more, 281. So that yields about a 42% engagement rate, right? So looking down, what this information tells us as far as engagement, there are opportunities. There are only 16 members engaged in the region. So that tells us, and SC Johnson, that there's opportunity to increase that engagement within the region.
Within the regions.
On the right-hand side, if we think about value, so in 2024, SC Johnson for NextUp we realized revenue around 166,000. But there's an opportunity, if all members were engaged out of the 644, we could have yielded 671,000.
So if I'm SC Johnson, I know exactly what I could have gotten.
Exactly.
But I also know what I got. And just as a reminder, the champion, when we had the charts about all the partners, the champion was the Walmart, Coca-Cola.
Exactly. Right? That's that level.
Big cheese level. And that champion column is really that baseline?
Yes.
Okay. And then we have the opportunity for SC Johnson versus the actual.
Exactly.
Yep. And all of these data points came
Our systems.
out of the system. Got it. Okay, cool.
Multiple systems. So we've got, of course, on the.
Sorry, I stepped back. I didn't know she was throwing it. I stepped back at the worst possible time. It went right past. She had me dead precise. I looked to you. I didn't know. She just threw it. There's nothing I could do. And so she did. She did what she wanted. As we were, SC Johnson, forgive the woman in the audience. I don't know what came over her, but as we were saying, so SC Johnson in this first particular case study, we know the reference point for the champion level, which I would like to remind everyone, this is going to come to play in just a second, why the champion level is that top tier of sponsorship. So traditionally, you think as you work your way down the sponsorship levels, you maybe perhaps lose a little bit because there's less investment, less company focus. But we started with this champion, and you could see, more importantly, the value per engaged member 592 at this level. And then also, there was note over here, the 671 versus 166 as the opportunity.
Right.
Now we're going to go down one level to Visa, which was our advocate level. Yep.
Second tier. Second tier.
Same column structure, advocate average, potential value for Visa versus actual. Sorry, please.
No, you're fine. So with Visa, we have active memberships of 268, actual event registrations of 463, 1.4 members attended events, total members of one or more 92, total value of engaged member 316. So again, opportunities here for engagement, definitely. That the region, there's only 4 attendees. Right. So again, opportunity there. If I look at value, we realized around $29,000, but we could have realized $243,000.
So as expected, right? We've gone down a little bit in tier, and we've seen a smaller. I didn't have enough lunch. We've eaten a smaller slice of the pie at this point as we've gone one down tier. Now, to bring this home, though, we go down one more tier, and actually a little bit surprised by what the data tells us.
So Mars, our ally supporter, lower tier supporter, they have active memberships of 182, national event registrations of 501.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't think that as a lower tier supporter, right? Average attended per member, 2.75. Total members attending one or more events, 112. So that's about a 62% engagement rate. Right.
Yeah, which is good, right?
It's great.
Okay.
It
sounds
awesome.
great, but
it's awesome. It's awesome. But
excellent.
Again, smaller tier.
Right.
It's one of those outliers we didn't expect.
So you're able to take away not just individual results here, but you're able to see that more macroscopically, not across NextUp as a whole, but especially within your tiers. And that allows you to have better, more informed, more engaged dialogues with these partners, or with even directly with some of the members in those categories, which then can reiterate once again the potential ROI and the value that they're getting from this. And I think I asked this already, but all of these data points came from where?
Nimble.
Oh, that's right, Nimble.
Nimble.
That's what that was.
Nimble, yes.
I don't know how I forgot that.
Is our CRM, but then also we utilize NetSuite, so we've integrated Nimble into NetSuite.
And you guys do. I don't want to forget. Shameless plug aside now. You do member surveys.
Yes.
And that
SurveyMonkey. It's also integrated within Salesforce.
And again, less obnoxiously, how important is it for you to be able? Like, would you have been able to build all this if you didn't have that good information?
No, we would not. No, it's been a necessity. And, after each event, after our workshops, we have our corporate partners and sponsors coming to us. They want this level of detail. They want to understand what their members are gaining from their investment. So this is critical.
Excellent.
Thank you. If there are any questions, I would be.
I want to plug www.nextupisnow.org.
Yes.
You just had your big summit. You have additional events coming up.
Well, our summit is coming up. We just had Northwest Arkansas.
Okay.
Summit is coming up the October the 7th.
Excellent.
In Orlando. Next year, we celebrate our 25th year, silver anniversary.
Round of applause, 25 years. NextUp. Yeah. Thank you. Great stuff. You got programmatic things coming about. Love that we're in Chicago. NextUp has a huge presence in Chicago. If the charts didn't sell themselves, there's a lot of value in what the service that they offer, not just with an industry, but at an individual level as well. Surely open for questions. But to bring us back where we started, on behalf of Momentive, it is our pleasure to be associated with all the incredible things that our members do, and we're super proud of all the work that you've done. Anybody have any questions about data, about building out ROI, or just about the cool stuff these guys are doing? No, we answered everything perfectly the first time. Yeah, Milady, yes. Aggregating all the data and bringing it together. So we're taking everything out of NetSuite, out of Nimble.
Yes.
I hate to ask, they're not just doing it in Excel.
No, I have a data analyst on my team who's aggregating the data from the systems. Again, we've got integrations with SurveyMonkey to Salesforce and then Nimble to NetSuite. So he aggregates that data. Yeah. Not there yet. We'll get there.
Other questions? Anything online? Sorry, I don't know who I'm supposed to ask that to. Kevin? Awesome.
Okay.
Look at
Thank
us.
you guys.
2 minutes early.
Thank you guys.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.